Guys, it's official. It's sad because Canoe actually did reveal my favorite, probably my favorite ever electric vehicle. It was an electric pickup truck, kind of a utility vehicle, kind of an MPV, a combination between those things. It's just so awesome, so practical. I really, really hope that somehow Tesla manufactures something like this because it's kind of the antithesis to the Cybertruck. It's just understated, but incredibly practical, incredibly efficient. Well, would be in theory. Maybe the most practical car ever made in the history, or not made in the history of mankind. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching The Electric Viking. Great to have you with us. Thank you for supporting the channel. Canoe's Bulldog EV would have been amazing. I wish they had have actually made the thing instead of doing whatever the hell they've been doing for the last few years, flying around in jets, wasting money, lining their pockets. To be honest, all pretty sad, really. Canoe has gone bust with less than $50,000 left and millions of dollars of debt. Staff payments, well, good luck if you work there. Sorry, guys, really sucks. After racking up $900 million in losses since 2022, the startup has filed for bankruptcy, which was obvious, inevitable. I've mentioned on the channel a few times that it was only months away, and now we're there. Now, people lost hundreds of millions of dollars investing in Canoe, and I personally warned them not to. I'm not trying to say I was some sort of prophet or anything. I mean, to be honest, I've warned many people against investing in Rivian, in Lucid, in many different companies because the hype around them never really justifies, the juice never really justifies the squeeze. And yeah, unfortunately, that was the case with Canoe. In spite of the fact that they had a prototype of my favorite ever electric vehicle, the company was just, honestly, I don't think they were ever really interested in succeeding. I think they wanted to fail and take as much money as they could in the process. Following the recent downfalls of Lordstown Motors and Fisker, both of which each filed for various degrees of bankruptcy protection, Canoe announced last Friday that it would file for Chapter 7 bankruptcy and cease operations immediately. After years of promises and prototypes, Canoe is, well, officially finished. Even its public website seems to have been shut down. It now redirects investors to the investor page. Invest, right. Anyhow, I reported about 2 months ago that Canoe had gotten rid of 23% of its factory staff after selling only 22 vehicles last year. It was actually given a lot of money by Oklahoma to build a factory, but it never actually made any vehicles in that factory. Founded in 2017 as eVelocity, the company rebranded to Canoe in 2019, unveiling its lifestyle vehicle prototype. But as is common with new car brands and, Canoe couldn't escape the reality that they were burning through cash faster than they could raise it. And to be honest, their CEO was burning through it in a particularly kind of grotesque way by flying around in private jets, even though the company wasn't actually doing anything. The company generated $0 in revenue in 2022 and only around $900,000 in 2023. Roughly a third of that came from Oklahoma, says Carscoops.com, which bought 3 locally made electric vans. But it turns out those vehicles weren't even made in the factory Canoe says they were made in. They were made in an entirely different place, potentially by an entirely different company. In the meantime, Canoe piled on well over $900 million in losses between 2022 and 2024. $488 million in 2022, $300 million in 2023, and another $118 million in the first half of 2024. If they had more money, they probably would have spent it, but they didn't. In its bankruptcy filing on Friday last week, Canoe revealed it owes money to fewer than 49 creditors, with liabilities ranging from $10 million to $50 million, while claiming to have less than $50,000 in assets. So where did all that money go? Well, you tell me where you think it went. Yeah. Canoe's financial troubles were, well, they're obvious. I mentioned them a few times and I'm sure you have heard of them. And yet people seem to not have any issues with this. They still have their investors. Weeks before filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, the company furloughed workers and shut down operations at its Oklahoma facility, a site that, according to a former employee, never produced a single vehicle. All of this despite the company's earlier promise to create 2,000 jobs in the state. Now, what's remarkable is I checked Canoo's stock price, and after this happened, it actually jumped. I mean, after they fired all those staff and it turned out they weren't actually making any cars, its stock price went up. What the heck? Canoo had desperately hoped to secure a financial lifeline from the US Department of Energy's loan program. But fortunately for the US government, those efforts were unsuccessful. And the reason I say fortunately is because this company was not really doing anything and they were simply wasting money. Next, it cast its net internationally, but it found no takers there either. Even with high-profile partnerships, including Walmart, Canoo couldn't secure the financial backing it so badly needed. The company said this: despite being American-made, don't know what was American-made about it, successfully delivering to such esteemed organizations as NASA, the Department of Defense, the United States Postal Service, the state of Oklahoma, and having agreements with Walmart and others, Canoo has unfortunately been unable to secure financial support from the US Department of Energy's Loan Program Office. Recently, the company's executives were in discussions with foreign sources of capital. In light of the fact that these efforts were unsuccessful, the board has made the difficult decision to file for insolvency. So this is the question. Now the company is headed towards liquidation, with a court-appointed trustee overseeing the process. Canoo will work with the Delaware bankruptcy trustee to manage the remaining assets. Tony Aquila, Canoo's chairman and CEO, and its number one fraudster. Its number one leader. And one of its so-called largest investors had some final words for employees. We would like to thank the company's employees for their dedication and hard work. We know that you believed in our company as we did. We are truly disappointed that things turned out as they did. Now, here's the thing. In 2023, Canoo made $886,000. Now, of course, it lost a lot more than that, but it made that. But it spent $1.7 million on the CEO's private jet. Why exactly did he need that? Well, I wasn't able to work that out. As for customers who placed $100 deposits when Canoo was still planning to sell electric vehicles to the public, you won't be getting that back. However, TechCrunch reports that some people have actually received a refund. However, there's the burning question of what happens to the $1 million Oklahoma invested in Canoo as part of a broader $100 million performance-based incentive package. Well, I'm guessing they won't get that back either. Guys, I don't know about you, but I really, really hope that someone will pick up at least one of their cool projects. They did build some really cool prototypes, particularly the Bulldog pickup truck. That thing is it's just awesome. I love it. I'm sad to see. I'm really, really sad. I genuinely am sad to see it go. I'd love to see something like that. I wish someone else would pick that vehicle up. I wish Tesla would pick it up, or anyone. Any callers out there? Guys, what are your thoughts? How do you feel about all of this? Let me know in the comment section below.